Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie and it is day 26 of Die Cut December. Today I'll be using these dies to make a hugs card. I've got a multiple flower aperture die and a hugs sentiment die. And today I'll be working with linen textured cardstock. So to start with, I'm going to create my mixed media background, and to do that I'm going to use this very old school technique. I've got a shallow dish of warm water with a few drops of washing up liquid in it, and I'm going to add to it this is Bombay Magenta Indian ink, Dr. P.H. Martin's, and I'm going to add that to colour my water. I don't want it too strong, but I want it to show up on the card when I do what I do next. We'll try that and see how we get on with that. You see how the bubbles have turned the same colour as the water. So I've got my straw here and I'm going to blow into it to create bigger bubbles that will come up above the rim of the dish. And then I'll take this is mixed media paper, which is good for handling water, and I'll press it down onto the bubbles and see what we get. And you can see the bubbles are very faint, so I might need to add more ink, but we'll do that a few times and see what pattern we get. Yeah, I'm going to add some more ink. You want to blow quite gently because you don't want the bubbles shooting off into your face. Right, what I'm going to do is give that a blow dry and then probably do a few more layers with the bubbles then drying, then the bubbles then drying, and that will give me lots of depth, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. So this is after a few rounds of bubbling and drying in between, and you can see it gives you a really lovely, delicate, bubbly pattern on there. I think what I'll do now is take some of this and just splatter it on there to give a bit of extra visual texture and depth. And I'll pick that up with some paper so it's still there but very faint. I don't want too much contrast, I think, on this at the moment. I find that the gentler you blow down the straw, the smaller the bubbles you get. So if you want small bubbles appearing on your background, then blow very gently. I think we're going to call that done. And now we have a very gentle, subtle, magenta, watercolory, bubbly, splashy background. I want to add some more visual texture in the form of unreadable script. So I've got this stencil here and I'm going to add it, and then just very, very gently, let's get that down flat, very, very gently blend some milled lavender distress oxide through it. And it's not an exact match of colour, but it's very close. I've given this, although it looks very purple, I've given this a really good rub on my microfiber cloth to get as much colour off as I can. I'm going to load this up with the milled lavender and then just quickly give it a scrub on some scrap paper to clean it a bit. I'll just use this bit of mixed media paper and then I can pop it in my Pretties pouch. So I think that is giving me the right colour now. So that's going to be saved for something. And then just load it up, but I'm not going to put much pressure on, just gently go over it and have a little peek. And it is coming through, maybe a little bit more pressure. There we go, I think that's about right. What I'm going to do now is take the front panel that I cut with the flower stencil and pop it over. To stick this down, I'm going to use my tacky glue because I want every little bit of white card to stick down. I'm going to chop this up in a minute and I don't want bits not stuck, so go in and add little drops of glue. I will get my deli paper and press it down to soak up any big blobs. It won't soak it up, it'll just lift it off. I don't want it splurging all over the background that I've just created. But this way all the bits should be stuck down. I'm going to give this a few minutes to dry because I'm going to chop it up with my guillotine, and if this is very wet from the glue still, it might tear rather than chop cleanly. So yeah, I'll give it a couple of minutes to dry. I was going to chop it into two, so I've got two tall, thin, skinny panels, but I'm wondering about using this rectangle die and just cutting one panel out of the middle. I think I might do that because it will give me those nice beveled edges. If you cut it in half, or whatever die you're using, if you've got enough space to do so, you cut it in half, you can obviously make two cards, but I think I might just do this today. Change of plans, everyone. I'm going to pop, before I run it through my die cutting machine, this laminated cardstock over here, and that will protect my front panel, this bit here, from the scratches in the cutting plates. If you have tape that sticks to the front of your card or your card panel or whatever, and you're a bit worried about peeling it off and ripping things, then give it a blast with your heat tool or hairdryer, and that will warm and make the adhesive behind the tape a bit softer and easier to peel back. So I'm going to do that here just in case. Also, peel away from the bit that you are wanting to keep and do it very slowly and flat to the surface, and that way you should minimise the risk of tearing the panel. Now this, I think this is cut all the way through. This is 2 layers of cardstock, so there may be some bits that haven't cut very well. I think it's going to pop out. Again, pull away from the bit you want to keep, and then any tearing will be on the back. That bit there needs a bit of glue on it. I'm going to add my panel onto another bit, if I can get my tape runner to work. Come here, you. Onto another bit of linen cardstock. I could use the next size up rectangle, but the gap between the rectangles in that particular set is quite large and I want quite a narrow border around this. So I'm going to pop that on there, and I will use my guillotine this time. To give the mat a die cut look, I'm just going to use this embossing tool and slowly, carefully run it along the edge, pressing quite hard, and that will bevel the edge, give it that curve that you get when you die cut things, and so they will work together rather nicely. So this is my card blank. It's 5x7 linen textured cardstock. I'm just going very carefully here because my ATG looks like it's about to protest. All right, let's get that the right way up, and I'm going to pop it up here. Is that the right way up? Yes, it is. Let me see. Yes, it is. I'm going to pop that up here quite close to the edge, but not so that it looks like it's falling off. And let's make sure that I'm sticking it on straight. That looks straight to me. I'm going to go for a diagonal design because that's quite pleasing to the human eye and brain. The sentiment's going to be down here, and then obviously this is up here, but that leaves this nice white space here, which is part of what makes a clean and simple card clean and simple, having lots of empty space for the eye to rest. So for my sentiment, I'm going to get this. I'm not doing the bubble thing again because it won't be visible on such a small piece of die cutting. I'm just going to paint that onto this mixed media paper and blow dry it. Do a couple of coats. Move that out of the way and do a little bit of splattering. Mop that up a tiny weeny bit. Blow dry it again, and then add a little bit of stenciling. Now I can cut my hugs. So there we go. That can go there. I think I'm going to pop it up on another piece. So I'll just quickly glue those together off camera. There we go. That just gives it a little bit of height. And I will pop that on the front of my card. Down here, again, not too close to the edge. I don't want it looking like it's falling off. So my flowers are looking a little bit naked, so I'm going to give them some Nuvo drop centres. This is Crystal Drops Metallic Pale Gold, one of my favourites. If I wanted to keep it monochromatic, I could just use white drops in the middle, but I think I like this little sort of extra bit of understated bling. Now I find the trick with Nuvo drops is to have them warm. So find a way of warming them up before you use them. If they're cold, they don't tend to form particularly nice blobs. Also, hold the bottle, that's the word I'm looking for, completely vertical when you do it. Squeeze, push down into the drop, but don't touch the surface, and then pull up, and then you should get a really nice blob. So completely vertical, squeeze, push down, and as you pull up, stop squeezing, and you should watch it relax into a lovely round dome. Like that. Right, I shall do the rest and then come back to you. So there we go, that's this card done and dusted. I do seem to have a couple of little pink dots there. If I was so inclined, I could do some gentle splattering to make them look purposeful, or I can just leave it like that. It's a handmade card, and handmade cards aren't meant to be absolutely perfect. I mean, if you're selling them, then yes, maybe you do want to get them absolutely perfect, but if you're giving them away to family and friends, you know, or giving them away for birthdays or what have you, then, you know, people forgive those little blemishes because they know, you know, you put your heart and soul into making it for them. So I don't think things like that are worth worrying about. So thanks for joining me today. I'm really happy to have been able to record in person or live video rather than do a voiceover. I've missed these while my voice hasn't been working properly. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow for day 27 of Die Cut December. We're nearly at the end now. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.